Today I rise to present Assembly Concurrent Resolution 99 on behalf of the California Legislative Caucus, commemorating the month of June as Immigrant Heritage Month. California is home to 10.5 million immigrants, 10% of DACA recipients, and the second largest state in the U.S. with the majority of TPS holders, many of which are Latinos. I proudly rise today as a daughter of immigrants whose parents brought our family to California to build a better future for us. I was only 3 years old and my brother was 6 months old when my mother chose to take that dangerous trip alone with 2 babies. Her sacrifice and hopes gave me the opportunity to make my own hopes and a chance to reach the American dream. Immigrant Heritage Month is an opportunity to celebrate immigrants and their countless contributions to our country. Their contributions are not limited to our economy. In fact, the cultural landscape of our nation and state has been shaped by immigrants for decades. Immigrants should be allowed to thrive beyond their productivity in our state, to live whole and healthy lives beyond survival. Yet despite countless contributions made by immigrants, we have frequently overlooked and undermined their role in building our state and nation. Our history also reminds us that our immigrant communities have been scapegoated, vilified, and targeted. Despite the many challenges that immigrants face, such as language barriers, and in many instances, discrimination, immigrants and their children manage to survive, despite all these structural disadvantages. Our immigrant and refugee communities have experienced acts of violence and hatred, including those perpetrated against our Black, Asian American, Pacific Islander, and Muslim communities. Our present hasn't prevented our immigrant communities from facing hateful rhetoric and active exclusion of their contributions, needs, and humanity. Despite immigrants driving our economic growth, their needs have often gone unmet. We must recognize the persistent disparities and challenges disproportionately faced by immigrants, such as access to health care, education, benefits, including federal recovery benefits that was worsened by the pandemic and recent floods. As we recognize and celebrate, let's also recognize the overlooked, the undervalued dedication of immigrants, like our farm workers and our street food vendors, and my dad, who will be here next week, our dishwashers and janitors. We honor the sacrifices of immigrants who became essential workers during the COVID pandemic-19. They served on the front lines and were called heroes and essential. It takes tremendous courage to be in a foreign country, knowing no one, and working to make it, to prosper, while trying to make it in your home. We recognize that while our immigrant and refugee communities have incredible strength and resiliency, we must continue to fight for a pathway to citizenship for immigrant workers and their families, and support that immigrants have contributed, such as food security, health, safety nets for all. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.